at 8:30, but we're live right now.
Oh,
So I got a stream
but what
begins
about
short.
what's recorded? I'm just wondering
Nothing.
what's recorded.
The entire show is recorded live as we're streaming it.
Like
Okay,
it's
so we're already
recording
gonna
now.
record it. Just want to be sure.
Yeah.
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 So
So everybody be quiet.
the
Yeah.
YouTube
I
makes
guess I can't
YouTube makes a permanent archive of the show, and then Twitch makes a temporary archive until we've done so much there, and then it'll remain permanent there too.
Sweet.
And that's not an automatic type
Uh-oh.
YouTube, is it? Are you doing something to you? So you're going to both places?
Yeah, I'm using Restream. So I set up a Restream account. And you go to Restream and set up all your username and passwords there. And then you send one stream into that, and it goes to whatever sources you want to send it to. So you could be going to Twitch,
Cool.
YouTube, Facebook Live, Instagram. There's a ton of them.
What's that called again?
Restream.
Okay.
And it comes with this pretty cool tool. It's one chat box that'll take chats from both places. So when the chat box starts lighting up, I'll know where everybody's
Yeah,
from.
that's cool. That's really cool. Wait, can any of us see the chat? How will we see the chat?
The only way you'd be able to see the chat is if on another screen or device you actually went to the stream.
On Twitch?
Yeah. Or
You probably
YouTube.
muted it so you didn't hear your own echo, etc.
Right.
Oh, I want to see what it looks like now. I'm going to go on Twitch.
Go ahead. You'll be our viewer.
What is the URL? I guess I could search for the
if
name
you
of
go
our show.
just
Twitch
search
/ Media Gab.
just search
Yeah.
Media Gab Podcast and it comes up.
There we
It's
go.
a / Media Gab.
On Google? Like if you Google Media Gab?
No,
you
no,
don't
go-
have our
go to-
URL.
Type
Go
in
to-
Twitch
Gonna
/ Media Gab.
Go to Twitch,
Gotcha. I'm just making sure.
and in the Twitch
Yeah.
search, type Media Gab
Twitch.tv.
Podcast. Should come up with the logo there.
Look, Mom, I'm on the TV.
You can back off just a little bit on that mic too, maybe about that. Maybe like thumb to pinky. You're just a little bit hot. You're freezing up quite a bit.
I
too.
could also turn down the heat. I know. I might need to like restart or something. I don't know what the hell to change here. Why I'm freezing up. Just start shutting shit down. Media
There's a-
Gap Podcast, Magna Podcast.
That is not us.
One viewer. They've got one viewer too.
We actually have a viewer.
There's
it
always
Media Gap
one
one
viewer.
word?
It's probably a bot. I'll get some
No, not
message.
Media Genius.
I'll get some message in half a foreign language asking me if I want to buy viewers here in a minute.
You want to buy viewers?
Oh yeah, you could pay some
guess you
company to get
could.
you viewers.
Yeah, they'll just spawn off a bunch of threads to log in. Yeah, makes sense.
You see it?
Right now, yeah, it says stream begins shortly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this is what the
Oh, so our video's not on, just our audio? Gotcha. Ooh, now I'm hearing my echo.
you should yeah, well, it's going to look like this when we start talking. See that?
Nope.
Nope.
You don't see it, but Kitus is on the stream, so he should see it. It's only delayed a couple seconds, right?
Oh, there it goes. Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
Nice, I'm in the middle.
Yes, you are.
Like the center square.
You got to improve your mic technique, though. You're a little too close.
We have to do
You're
stuff
hot.
like
You're getting a lot of reverb.
Yeah, pointing. But
Yeah.
you're pointing.
That's a
you pointed
condenser
off, you
mic,
gotta
kind of,
point-
so you can be
point
like
the other
almost a
way.
foot away from
Oh,
it.
I'm not watching it, so I don't know.
No, just point the other way.
All right, I'll back it away.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
Right here's
That's
okay.
perfect.
Now
yeah.
you're pointing at Kitus.
Cool.
All right.
So it'd be cool as if we could like reach down and then a hand would come out in Nato's square.
Paul Linden.
It would be cool if we started in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm freezing.
Oh, now I gotta close the door. Hold on. Be right back.
Okay. I don't know how loud that intro music was.
I didn't even hear it this time.
You have to be in roll
you
20,
won't. You're
my
not in roll
friend.
20, so you won't hear it.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't logged into the. Anyway, welcome to episode 3. Should be episode 4, but I screwed up the recording last week.
Yeah, man. What was the point of all that?
My fault.
What did we even talk about? We could revisit.
We talked about video games and TV shows and movies, which is kind of the point.
Yeah. So what's our first topic? Because I want to talk about the synopsis that was released.
The synopsis for
Yeah,
Lord of the
which one?
Rings. Lord of the Rings on Amazon.
Oh,
the
actually
game.
No, the series. They actually
Okay.
They finally dropped the synopsis in the second age. So
We
it's
can-
after the.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we can get into that in the what you waiting on segment.
All right. Cool.
We'll go into the news here because there's quite a bit to talk about,
Yep.
and then yeah.
It's the news.
should for the record state this is not like news. This is
Well, yeah, well,
News.
it's video. It's
is not
topical news.
topical on
Yeah.
video games and so on because
And
we have a
movies.
diverse
Correct.
set of opinions here on politics and so on.
And we don't
love
want to
each
get
other,
banned.
And we don't want to like get banned or start beating each other up on camera. That would be uncool.
I was really
could
pumped
happen.
up. I was really pumped up with some of the Star Wars stuff that came out today.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that. So I guess if you guys read any of those articles, the main statement that stood out to me is obviously Lucasfilm. Well, what used to be LucasArts Games, right? LucasArts is basically back as Lucasfilm's games.
Yep.
So EA no longer has exclusive rights to all of the Star Wars content for video game purposes. It's now back in the hands of Lucasfilm. And
That's good.
yeah. And the main statement that stood out there was that they would basically be, I'm paraphrasing, but it was along the lines of they would be looking to work with basically the best video game companies in the industry. So various different video game companies to produce some of the stuff in the franchise. So, and then finding out that Ubisoft, who makes the Division, the Division
I'll tell you
2.
what, just the only thing I can think of when I read the Division-esque version of Star Wars to me would be something where you're like, and I don't even know where you would set it in the timeline. I think there's multiple opportunities and you could do, just extensive releases, but you could be like, just the open worldness and actually making it Division-esque where, you're like, it's almost like Division, except you're doing infiltration runs on, Galactic Empire locations, invading the Empire, trying to steal stuff or sabotaging stuff. And just, man, it's just.
Wait a
it's
minute.
What?
Your great
That's not what-
reveal on your backdrop was to put a rebel flag over you.
That's the first.
They put in a lot of work.
I thought there was going to be like a green screen and it was going to look like Mos Eisley
Redo.
behind you or something.
It's definitely a compromise. That's what's going on here because the
think it's
window
still there.
dressing has not been removed.
No, it's honestly the window dressing. is gonna
Rebels
come
were
down.
here.
I just have to get up and take it down. But this is a temporary fix.
Okay, gotcha.
So I just had to do something besides the pink.
Gotcha.
Being framed in a pink thing was just I couldn't.
Now
do
it's
that.
pink and dark pink
Yeah.
with a rebel logo in the middle.
At least I didn't buy one of the flags and hang them sideways. So this is actually a banner
Yeah.
that's hanging in the right direction.
Good. Yeah, so They actually said the guy who was one of the leads on Division 2 is going to be the creative director for the new game. It's going to be open world, and they're using the same engine they did Division 2 in. So that doesn't mean it's going to be a cover shooter.
Anvil.
Yeah. No, Snowdrop.
Snowdrop is
Snowdrop.
what okay.
Yeah. And so basically Massive Entertainment, right? Ubisoft is the publisher, Massive is the developer. And, you know, we all love Division 2, and I love Division 1 also. So
Yeah.
that is really exciting. Now, who knows when that's going to come out? But I guess they're already in works on it.
Yeah.
Like it's already started, and they've had to kind of keep it hush hush for a while. So.
You know what Ubisoft studio is doing it?
Massive Entertainment.
Oh, Massive. Where are they?
Yeah.
I need to find their jobs.
They're actually in Europe. They're in Sweden.
Whatever.
If
Stockholm?
I don't know. If you watch State of the Game, they all have pretty heavy Swedish accents, and but they're pretty cool. We watch a podcast called State of the Game that they put out about every week on the Division 2. But yeah, that's really cool. That's probably the best video gaming news I heard today. But you think that's kind of necessary, don't you? Like for them to expand like that with all the properties they've got coming out. EA can't handle games along all those lines. Even Bethesda's going to be getting involved.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting because they renamed it. So it was Star Wars games, and all of a sudden, I guess, because EA had a 10-year contract on Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're coming to the end. So they still have licensing through end of 2021 before it goes out. So it was, to me, I was reading it, and I always look at where's the money and who's following what. So they're going back to Lucasfilm games. And the reason is they had all this success in the 90s.
Yeah.
But apparently, they downsized it when Disney bought them. I was reading through the article. Disney bought them. They were in the process of downsizing that whole group and said, well, I guess we're done. But now they're saying, well, we're going to start over. But to you guys' point, they're going to subcontract now. So they're not going to hold the in-house development like they used to. It's because there's a lot of good developers out there, a lot of good companies out there. So now they're looking at best of breed, no more exclusivity by EA. They're going to keep it opened up. But yeah, they're going back to the classic Lucas, which I thought was interesting by Disney. Why would Disney go back to Lucas? I would have figured they would have name branded it Disney or something.
Well,
they're going back to the tried and true.
The brand name's still Lucasfilm, right? Of the film franchise. So all these properties that are coming are under Lucasfilm. Now you're just going to have Lucasfilm games.
Yeah.
But EA really hasn't released that much. Right? They did Battlefront 2.
Right. It was very limited. I was looking at the list. There was like 5 games.
Yeah, the Jedi game that came out last year, and Squadrons. Jedi Fallen Order.
I've heard Battlefront 2 has come around. Like, is that something we should try to play together?
It would be fun to play. It's
totally
primarily a PvP experience. I don't know if you can co-op on the campaign. I own it. But that was another big piece of news. They're going to give that away free all next week. Like the full deal, like the super collector's edition.
Yeah, and when you say PvP, it's not like everybody ganking everybody, right? It's like two sides versus each other. So it's more like a capture the flag kind of thing, or rebels versus empire.
Right.
So,
but I don't I don't know. I've never played that part of it. Like I kind of missed the boat on that whole thing. I'm not a big PvP guy anyway.
I played it back on the Xbox One when it first. And it was real, and I've heard it's only gotten better.
It did. It was a kind of a mess when it was kind of a mess when it released, but then it got better.
Wait, which game are you talking about?
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big kind of faction versus faction sort of free for all deathmatch kind of thing. And there's other multiplayer elements in it, but I don't know enough. Like I don't know if like the 5 of us could jump in and say we want to be on the same side, so put us all on one side together. And I don't.
Yeah.
But I know it's
cool
wildly
because it's
popular.
really big maps. It's big maps and wide open areas, and you got cool abilities and powers and stuff. And then there's like, Vader is on the battlefield and stuff, and he's either on your side or on the other side, and he's like super powerful.
Well, and as you progress, you collect characters that you can then play.
Oh yeah.
So you can be Jango Fett.
Yeah, so you could be
Lando.
Vader for like seconds before a light for something, right? I think.
And they've added Ray.
It's just temporary. You're not them the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If it's free next week, I would totally try it. I don't know that the PC standpoint is.
And I'm ignorant on the whole game other than that it's wildly popular, but if there was like a multiplayer co-op campaign in there, that would be fun. I know there's a single player campaign because I started it when I bought the game a few years ago. So anyway, is there anything else catch anybody's eye?
They have a job. Massive has an animator job available in Malmo, Sweden.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go, buddy.
Road trip.
Next podcast.
You can be over there making Ewoks waddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we come visit you.
Yeah. Make sure you get that
Lots
fur
of
just right.
blonde women.
Oh, this is the thing.
That'd be
Bethesda.
terrible.
Bethesda. Okay, everybody's familiar with Bethesda, right? They're the guys who made all like the killer open world games like Skyrim and.
Yeah, I got friends there.
So they have been contracted by Lucasfilm
Nado's cutting out.
to do an Indiana Jones game.
Oh, wow.
Or everybody's cutting out. Oh, my headphones came out.
Gotcha. You know what you should do, buddy? You should get a little 6-inch extender cord.
Well,
Battlefront 2 is on Steam.
Yeah. What you
It
need
is
to do,
currently
Bondi, is get a little $2
Wow.
6-inch extension cord to stick out of the bottom of that thing.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And they're making another Indiana Jones movie too, so it's actually quite timing's quite coincidental
But
there.
for those two games, I'm really pumped to play one Star Wars game made by Bethesda, or one Star Wars game made by Massive under Ubisoft, and then I don't know what kind of. I mean, I would assume it's some kind of open world game by Bethesda making an Indiana Jones game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
The only thing we got to be careful about is this whole games as a service BS that so many games are trying to do.
Yeah.
Like Division 2 suffered from this. Games as a service, they don't finish it. They think we're going to have content for the next 3 years. So one, we're going to hold content back when we launch.
Yeah.
And we're only going to launch with some of the bullet points that we're going to have. And because we got to hold something back. So this is what like Avengers suffered from this fall. Like everybody was so hyped for this Avengers game. And think about like the Marvel universe. There's an infinite number of heroes, an infinite number of villains, and it launched with like the lamest villains you can imagine. I can't even think of the names now. They're so bad. And it was horrible because they kept thinking we've got years of this game, so we're going to hold back the classic villains, right? We're just going to launch with these, whatever. And seriously, like, I wish I had them on hand. It's hilarious, actually. So the games as a service thing,
it's risky.
It is. It's risky because it's a not necessarily a good game, and then B, it's a business model more than a game, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I think Division 2 did it pretty well.
Riot Games.
Division 2 was okay. Division 1 was better. Everybody will say Division 1 was better. It had a more cohesive story. Division 2, I just mean
the way they rolled out their content. Or where they came up and they laid out the map. We'll have this, this, and this, and coming out. And if you bought the season pass, you could get it when it came out.
They're capable. Just when you're dealing with LucasArts, Lucas or whoever, right? You've also got other people you're answering to,
right?
And how many creative people are in charge. What do they let you do and let you not let you do? So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, of course, we're all cautiously optimistic and we're excited to see what can happen. But
because I think we'll get into this a little bit later too. But I really think the future of purchasing games is this subscription deal,
which is terrible. I mean, I get it, but it's annoying.
I like it. Because I can cancel at any time. I play as much as I want. Okay, Microsoft doesn't have any great games I want to play right now, so I'll cancel my sub.
Well, I'm okay if it's underneath the umbrella of a big moniker But if it's like, oh yeah, like go back to Lotro and some of those, $14.95.
Well, yeah. So when I'm talking about subscriptions, I'm not talking about a monthly fee to play one game.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a monthly fee to a publisher, and you get access to all their content.
That's different,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Because right now I'm paying a few bucks for the Microsoft one, a few bucks for the Ubisoft one, and that's really where most of my games are. And instead of paying $60 a pop,
right.
You know, like I mean, if I would have bought all the games I've played on the Ubisoft client so far this year, I would have probably paid $250 or so.
Yeah.
You know, because I played Valhalla a little bit. What the heck else have I played? I mean, I kind of wish I'd have done it before I did Wildlands and Breakpoint.
Right.
Because all that stuff's in there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I got Wildlands, Breakpoint, Division. You know, I've got those three, and that alone.
There's also the hacking Cyberpunk game that just came out that I'm actually gonna go back to now. That
People hate that.
I've heard pretty good things about you talking about Watch Dogs Legion.
No, it's not Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Legion.
The Watch Dogs Legion. And I played a little bit. I was starting to get into it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then Valhalla.
It's cool. They just held off on the multiplayer.
Yeah.
We'll still have to play the.
We lost you, Kitus.
Kitus is Bach.
He cut just a little bit. All right.
Sorry about that.
Got to keep. All right, here we go and find out.
I will reboot.
Shall we play a game?
Okay, so we're going to talk about what we've been playing. Kitus is restarting. That's fine. But so curious as to, you know, maybe just a game that kind of caught your attention this past week, or something you've been playing but you weren't able to play a lot this week but you're looking forward to. Or
I wanted to tell Manel about Inside.
Okay.
Inside on your pad.
Okay,
iPad.
I'm writing it down.
iPad, because he doesn't have network crap, so he's got to play iPad stuff. I played Inside, like I was telling Nato on the last podcast. I played it through 3 times.
Really?
To the end. Yeah. And last night even I pulled it up. I'm like, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. It's creepy, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
It takes about 3 hours.
Okay, is it really? So it's got a lot of replay value.
It's a side scroller.
Okay,
but the control system is so good with the animation. It's just left, right, up, and down. That's it, man. And you do all kinds of different things, like you pull levers. You know, you push and pull things. You know, it's a puzzle game. It's a side scroller. But it's also just really atmospheric. The music is amazing. The graphics are subtle and like cool. And the story at the end is like complete mayhem. And it's right up your alley, Manel. I'm telling you.
All right.
Give me the name of that again. What's the name of that again?
It's called Inside. That's it. Small developer. They did a game before that was really popular.
The art is phenomenal.
Yeah, they've won awards.
I'm looking at a wow.
It's cool.
Just one glance at it, the art style is really cool.
Yeah, super creepy. It's great.
Yeah, it is creepy looking.
Put on headphones and just.
I think that's on iOS.
Yeah,
it
is.
It's
on the iPad. Is that where you were playing?
He was saying playing it on the iPad.
That's a great game.
I play it on my pad. Yeah.
That's cool.
And you say a full playthrough only took 3 hours?
Probably, depending on how good you are. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
and there's actually a ton of Easter eggs in there too. So like my replay that I did was based on like the walkthrough that I found online. I'm like, I'm gonna get every friggin' Easter egg, and so I went through it and like did every Easter egg.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I've got some footage playing in the stream right now. It's pretty cool.
It's very moody. It's very moody.
Oh yeah, I can tell just looking at this.
Oh, they said they've got it on Origin too. Is that right?
Yeah, it's one of those games that's been on like every platform by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, again, there's another one. If you had subbed to Origin, is that a free app right now? Is that something you can go grab for free, or you got to pay a few bucks for it?
You got to pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talking about like Apple Arcade kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I got it.
Yeah. Oh, it was on Apple Arcade, really? Or you just iOS?
Wow.
Probably cheap by now. It's been out
Just
for a while.
iOS,
2016.
yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
10, 15 bucks.
Be right back.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
And
Yeah, it was the developers that did Limbo. Limbo
Right.
was the darling that originally came out. Yeah.
That's it.
Um,
Yeah.
Which is also amazing, even darker. Like a Limbo is really cool.
There's one for you,
Um,
Manel. Limbo.
2011. That'll run on anything. Shoot, that'll run on your watch.
Yeah. It's awesome. I think it's all Unity too. I think they did it all in Unity.
Yeah. It looks like it would be. Totally.
Mhm.
So did you play a little more Techno Bowl this weekend there? No.
Oh,
Retro Bowl.
Yeah, I finished another season, first place, won the Super Bowl, of course.
Wow. Congratulations.
You're good.
Yeah, I think I've got 45 seasons so far. I think I've won 30 Super Bowls.
Wow.
So keep going.
Your name should be on a plaque somewhere.
I don't know. I got this game figured out. But it's nice. It's like 10, 15 minutes I can play a game.
Yeah.
So now I'm handicapping my team. So instead of spending the salary cap, I try to stay from 1 to 5. I try to keep it like a 3 or 2. So
Yeah.
I'm handicapping myself. But it's nice 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can play games.
Nice.
So
When we get into the later section, we start talking about whether or not we might be considering consoles. I want to make a pitch for the Nintendo Switch for traveling people, because I finally got one and it's pretty amazing. I dig it. I got the Switch Lite.
Which one is it, Bondi? Is it Play Dead inside full? It's inside full game.
Yeah, it's kind of a dark side scroller looking, foggy looking thing.
Yeah.
$6.99. Does that sound right?
I wouldn't pay a nickel over
I
$6.50.
paid 14.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
paid
right.
14 bucks for it. So yeah.
Okay.
That sounds right.
So it's Play Dead, right?
Yeah, that's
Play
the
Dead
company.
Inside?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Play Dead
developer?
Inside.
That's the developer, yeah.
Okay. That one just says get. There's no fee to it.
There's a demo.
Cool as
There's
hell.
like a 3-level demo or a 3
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you
Yes.
can play the
Yeah.
demo and then you can pay for it. Which is even
Oh,
better.
cool.
even better. Okay, wonderful.
Dude, this game would scare the shit out of me.
It does scare the shit out of you. It's awesome.
Mr. Bondi, were you able to play anything this week?
Nah, actually.
Just the breakpoint session we have had after the last.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I played one more round of Breakpoint where I tried to take down a boss. It wasn't happening. It was like 3 hours, and I
By
just
yourself?
kept getting.
You gotta
Yeah, using
message me, man. I'll jump in.
same. Well, it was like at 3:00 in the morning, my time.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, you might just be getting up for work, I suppose. But yeah,
Yeah.
me and Nato played on like ultra setting,
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
right after the stream last week.
I missed
and we
it.
got it. We got one boss.
Yeah.
Took like 10 tries.
You can set Wildlands up like that now. That's fun.
Yeah.
So. And Kitus, I'm dying to hear what you thought of Shadow of War so far.
I love it. You know what it is? It's Assassin's Creed in the Lord of the Rings universe. I mean,
Right.
it's totally Assassin's Creed. I started
Right.
climbing buildings and
Yeah.
it started telling me who I had to kill, and I'm like, I'm playing Assassin's Creed, except
Yeah.
it's Lord of the Rings. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like seriously, what's to not like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about
literally
it,
like the open city, choose your stuff. It's Assassin's Creed.
yeah. But I don't know that now that I think back on it, I don't know that I've ever played a game that has better voice acting and cutscenes. I mean, it's like motion picture level voice acting.
The voiceover is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I was wondering if they had who's the actor that played Boromir? I don't know his name in real life. I hear his voice in like every male character they have.
Yeah.
Like every male character has that same Boromir kind of voice. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is
no,
it
it is a really
Ubisoft?
cool game. No.
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
There you
Sean
go, Sean Bean. Yeah, like, the guys sound like Sean Bean. Let me look up Shadow of War. It is not Middle Earth Shadow of War. It might have been Electronic Arts.
The Possessor, really?
Let's see. I'm on Steam. Oh, WB Games. The developer is Monolith Productions.
Monolith.
Yeah.
Now,
Monolith.
this is a part 2 of the previous Middle-earth game. And my son and daughter, both my kids played the previous game.
Right.
And when they saw this one, they said that it's like the previous game, just with some refinements and improvements.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, great. I didn't play the previous game. And in fact, my daughter said that looks better because you're starting in a city. She said, I was like running around the stupid countryside and swamps, like doing the same stuff. And she lost interest in the game.
Yeah. It's a continuation.
So she thought the opening was even better because you're already in a city.
Yeah.
Yeah. The prologue kind of catches you up on everything. So I felt like there was a whole lot of story coming at me in the prologue. But yeah, it is a cool game and it's pretty cheap right now. And there's a lot of content in there.
A ton of content. I mean, you can probably spend easily, even if you don't hunt down every little artifact and little side thing that you can do, you can easily spend 60, 80 hours in there going through the story, and the story is just so good. And there's like
did you
parallel
finish the story?
Almost. The first time I played, I almost finished it. I didn't quite get to the end. But,
and so there's two things that are also like, if you're a completionist, this game would have a ton.
Yeah.
But there were like runes you could get, and if you got 6 runes, you could get the treasure that's behind this door.
Right.
And then there's the Loth shards to get more backstory, and then there's the actual storyline. So I've decided I'm just skip the runes. I'm like, screw it. I don't have time for the runes. There's a lot of games to play.
Right.
But the Loth storyline I'm kind of curious about. So what did you go after, and how was the progression as far as what you were doing?
Well, the first time I went through it, I kind of got hooked on the Shelob thing. I really wanted to know. So I collected all the little pieces of her.
I keep saying Loth. It's Shelob. They're both spiders.
So I collected all her pieces because you get all these little glimpses of it. And her story is insane. Like, her story in that is so cool.
Shelob's backstory?
Yeah.
It's interesting that Shelob has a backstory. Like, all we know Shelob from is The Hobbit, right?
Yeah, that didn't exist in any of the original Hobbit stuff.
Oh,
I mean, Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah.
And then you keep getting flashbacks of the of Celebrimbor, the guy that is fused with you. You get a lot of his.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. I mean, if they would just, honestly, it'd be worth it if they would string together all of the gameplay interactions that are relevant to the story, and then the cutscene kind of stuff would just be so entertaining to watch. That game's worth it just for the story. It's called Shadow of War, Middle Earth Shadows of War.
Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Well, but it's free to play on Microsoft Game Pass.
Yep.
How much is Game Pass?
Here's the thing. I paid 99 cents for Microsoft Game Pass, and they said my next bill will be May 28th. I have no idea how that worked. I think because I also have Xbox Live, and they prorated my Xbox Live previous subscription or something. But 99 cents, I get an email that says, thanks for subscribing. Your next bill for $15 will be on May 28th.
Huh.
And I think if you sign up for Xbox Game or Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate, you get either 30 days or 90 days for 99 cents, like right now. And so, and on Game Pass, there's a ton of stuff. This is a subscription that Nada was talking about earlier. I mean, it's bigger than Ubisoft is just their catalog versus the Microsoft Game Pass is almost like anybody who wants to sign up for it. Plus all the dev houses that they're buying, including Bethesda, and whoever else.
Jesus.
And that's where the other game that I played a lot this week is Monster Train. Monster Train has been a darling on Steam. If you want to play a deck builder card battler along the lines of like Slay the Spire, with different factions, with different cards and heroes. And so you're playing cards to support your heroes on screen that are in battle, and you're playing cards to drop new characters and spells that will attack the enemies and stuff. Anyway, if you've played Slay the Spire, you know what this type of game is. And Monster Train is the natural successor to Slay the Spire. It's kind of more streamlined. It takes a lot of parts of Slay the Spire that were like a battle, get a slight upgrade, a battle. They're also roguelikes just by definition, that you're unlocking more the more you play, and you're getting stronger the more you play. But Slay the Spire was slower, and not in a bad way. Just you would fight something and you'd maybe add a card to your deck, and you'd fight something and you'd get an artifact, and you'd fight something and get a little more power. Monster Train just kind of condenses that. It puts, get some cards, get an artifact, buy some stuff, do like several things at once, now go into a battle that's like multiple battles at once, versus Slay the Spire was like a battle, a benefit, a battle, a benefit. You'll get like 4 or 5 benefits in Monster Train and then go into a big battle. And then you win that, you get some money, you get 4 or 5 more benefits, and then you go into another big battle. So the game is fast. It like, and you can easily pause a playthrough at any point in time and just walk away and just come back and continue your run. So it's very short, play burst friendly. And if you kind of want to see where current deck builder, card battler, indie titles are,
and
right
you're
now,
playing this on PC right now?
I'm playing it on PC on Microsoft Game Pass.
It looks
but my son had already played
iPad friendly.
This game has to come to iOS and Android and other platforms. It'll be perfect on there. And Switch. This will be a perfect Switch game. In fact, Switch is where I played Slay the Spire on vacation. And it's a great portable game. But it's also great on the PC. I mean, I normally wouldn't choose to play this type of game on the PC. For my card games, I'm very, iPad or portable.
You gotta be on the couch,
kind of preference. But on the couch or morning coffee, right? Morning coffee, and just dragging something on the screen to play some cards and whatever is perfect. But Monster Train has got me actually playing on the PC. In fact, before we started tonight, I've started another run in Monster Train, and played a couple battles, and then just dropped it and came and started the podcast.
Wow.
Cool.
Definitely try it. Check it out. See where card games are right now. It's a great
Mark,
game.
were you able to fiddle with anything at all this week?
No.
Surprise.
So no, my work week is not a work week. It's just work. I was surprised that I didn't end up with a 6 o'clock call tonight, or I probably would have had to bail on this. So
if you could have played one game this past week, if we could only have played one game, what would you have played?
Well, I was honestly stoked at getting in and playing a little Wildlands, because it's been like forever.
And then
I do like those games, and then my computer decided to crash on me. By the way, I started up Wildlands. It works fine now, and everything else works fine. But
all right,
I've been modding some, or upgrading the mods in Warframe. So, because I jump on, I don't engage in anything. I just go in, look at the upgrades on my Warframe, and figure out what I can increase with the mods for the points I have.
Right.
So I've been doing that to like build it out as much as I can, but that's it.
Cool. Well, I have played a lot of Wildlands this past week because all 3 of the kids, I have 4 boys, 3 of them love video games. So I got restarted on it a few weeks ago, and then we got Sydney into it, and then Tyler's moved in with us temporarily. So we got him into it. So we kind of built up 2 of us to 3 of us to 4 of us. So I can just kind of yell out to her, "Hey, let's play some Wildlands." and I got a game, so we're almost completely completed all of it, but we're just having
a problem.
That's a super fun game. And when you guys first got it, I was remembering when you guys first got it, I played just a little bit with you and barely scratched the surface, Because what I'm remembering now is the reason I didn't end up hopping in with you a lot is because our guild was doing the raid in Division 2.
Yeah. That's right.
So we were raiding like almost nightly in there and trying to take the raid down on its first release, and we ended up doing it. So, and then you guys didn't really go super deep into it yourself, right?
No.
Because it was kind of like Division 1.
We played a pretty good amount, but
yeah. I think we got through 2 of the bosses.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And actually I had more fun when we played over the weekend and you guys got me to install it and play again. It was a good time. It actually made me realize how much better of a game it is than Breakpoint. It has more atmosphere.
Yeah.
The world feels more alive. And plus just the story is cooler. It's more cohesive.
Yeah, and there's a lot more like comic relief and like funny stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breakpoint has some.
I'm looking forward to playing some more.
Yeah, Breakpoint. Right. I love Breakpoint. I really love that game, but I see why people that were huge fans of Wildlands were a little disappointed when Breakpoint came out. So, and some of like the mechanical stuff in Breakpoint, I think, is a little more refined. But I love both of them. If I had to be stranded on a desert island with one of those games, I don't know which one I'd pick. It would depend on if I had internet or not.
Yeah.
And then along with that, I cannot stop playing stupid freaking Animal Crossing.
Yeah. I've heard that.
I cannot stop playing.
If I could have picked the last person on this podcast who would be into Animal Crossing, does anybody here know the player that won't listen to any story dialogue, rushes ahead, doesn't read the quest lines, has no interest in the content, wants the action, is now playing Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
And there's no game. There's no game in Animal Crossing. You never play anything.
But it's like
you got your man cave built
someone says go get, I mean, I spent like 25 minutes picking weeds the other day. I'm like, oh, look at all these weeds I'm getting. And then I'm walking around the cliffs, right? And I'm like, wow, there's stuff up there and I can't get to it. I'll bet you someday.
All right, what is
I'll get something that gets me up on the cliff.
Doesn't even know. Okay,
I don't even know what it is.
Explain
it's like a farming simulator.
It's the island of Scandia.
Plant some crops. And then you got to wait a day, and then you got to go,
in real time, like a real day.
Yeah, it's real time. So if they send you to build a house for somebody, and they say it'll be ready tomorrow, it's not ready till the next day. And so you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I can't wait to go see if that house is built.
Seriously? And you're playing this?
And you log in and you want to see which cute animal moved into the house. I'm gonna go talk to him and help him.
There's a bunny. Oh,
I'm gonna go talk to him and help him unpack his boxes.
Oh my god!
It's just cool though. I guess what it is, it's like you put your mind in park and you're so like entertained and you're just kind of so soothed by all the stuff that's happening that it's just super pleasant. It's never stressful. It's never exciting. It's never frustrating. It's just. I compare it to one of those tiny little gardens with the rake. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not really accomplishing a whole lot, but it's really
the little
it's
desktop
really
stand garden.
Oh, the bonsai. Oh yeah.
I have that thing. I have Breath of the Wild. I downloaded a Pokemon game, which are both huge, like kind of open world adventure games. And every time I turn that thing on, I gotta go. I remember I need some iron nuggets.
You need to play Stardew Valley. That's the other one.
Yeah, I've heard that's good too. So
yeah. Well, what about the social element of Animal Crossing? I mean, there's all this like sharing with friends and stuff, and you visit each other and all that. Like my friends were all into that. They were all like, "Oh, I'll come over and see you, and then I'll bring some stuff."
Yeah,
and I'll give you some stuff. Or
but
what
that's
kind of stuff?
Not even interactive. Like you go to their island and there's like nothing to do.
What are you talking about? They give you some iron nuggets.
Yeah.
And then you could, instead of using a flimsy shovel, you can have a shovel.
Oh.
Instead of a plastic shovel, you can have a metal shovel. Gotcha.
I spent like 10 minutes today walking around my museum on my island. Like, oh, I remember when I dug up that fossil.
Yeah, I played a couple of these games where I knew that it wasn't going to be for me. Like I tried Stardew Valley. Like I really gave it a shot, right? You keep hearing other people raving about it. You're like, well, I got to check this out. What's going on? And I knew I didn't even spend the $60. And I thought, spend the $60. I thought, Nato just wasted $60. He is not going to play that game. And I'm glad you like it. That's cool.
I guess it's fitting. It's fitting. It's scratching a little itch where all my other stuff doesn't get to. Right? You know what I mean? Because I have all these other games on my PC, and you know, let's quick go through this next segment on what we're watching, and then we'll get into what we're doing and talk about. Wrong one. And then we'll talk a little bit about the consoles.
I didn't rent that movie.
You got to keep things moving, Nato.
Yeah. I haven't watched anything. You know what I watched this week? YouTube videos about all the Star Wars stuff that's coming out. And I didn't watch a show. I didn't watch a movie. I didn't watch anything this week.
The Happy Time Murders.
Happy Time Murders.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a freaking Muppet movie, and it's got some scenes in it that are just absolutely fucking hilarious.
Wait a minute.
That's like the rated R Muppet thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it on?
Okay, I gotta write this down. That's a keeper.
Yeah.
What is it on?
Yeah, no, it is.
Was it on?
Yeah, it's Muppets dropping F-bombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Muppets, right?
No, it's not all Muppets. It's humans.
It's not
and
Henson.
Muppets.
I'm saying this is not a Henson production. It's Puppets with a P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
So we're not going to see Kermit the Frog like with a joint in his mouth.
Like Muppets.
Made with felt, blue felt, unless of course they dye it with bleach.
And it's like raunchy, isn't it? Like raunchy.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes in there that are pretty good.
You watching that with your son?
No, actually,
gotcha.
Kate was asleep. I couldn't get to sleep, and I'm like, "Oh, that's that freaking weird Muppet movie." I said, "I'm gonna check that out." So
YouTube's gonna ban us for talking about Jim Henson like this.
I was dying.
Who streams it?
I can't remember if it was Netflix. It's either Netflix, or it's on Amazon, or it's on HBO. I can't remember.
Skin Hub.
So
wait, what's the title again?
Happy Time Murders.
Happy Time Murders. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out in theaters, I thought I'm not going to a theater for that, but streaming, I could see.
Yeah, streaming. There's some scenes in there that just, I'm sorry. I still remember the why you wrap a hamster in electrical tape joke, and I still think that one's hilarious. And this movie has like that level comedy. So, and I was dying. So hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find.
Yeah, don't play any of the audio.
I'm not. I'm keeping.
What about you, Kitus? What have you been watching?
Oh, it's Prime Video, man. Prime Video.
All right.
So Amazon.
So it's on Amazon. Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of Amazon, Expanse, the new season of Expanse is nailing it. Like it is.
Oh no!
Fantastic.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah.
When did it come out?
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago.
It's not done streaming yet. It came out in December, and the way Amazon does it, at least they have with Expanse, is they'll launch with 3 episodes, and then they'll do an episode a week. So right now, I think there are 7 episodes out, and we were looking because we were wondering how many there's going to be. The previous seasons were either like 10 or 13 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they're still
now?
tracking the books. I've read all the books. They're on season 5.
But which
and there's
episode
only going to be one more season. There's going to be 6.
Only going to be
Maybe
6.
like 6 or 7 out of 10. So
Melissa McCarthy.
the season is not all up. Yeah, so Expanse is nailing it. If you want your sci-fi fix, it's fantastic. Hard sci-fi. It's amazing. And I've read the books. I know where they're going, and the season is still great.
Wow.
And then we're watching as a family. We're watching the Golden Compass books. and we're on HBO.
Golden Compass.
Wait, when did the Golden Compass come to HBO?
Kaitis has got to do something.
You froze up after I asked the question. I'm like,
wait, revisit.
Oh, they're in season 2 on HBO right now.
The Golden Compass.
They're in season 2 on HBO. So season 1 came out last year. The Golden Compass book series.
Yeah, I didn't realize they released the series because they did a movie. They did the first movie.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird, right? Because they named it His Dark Materials, which I haven't read the book, so that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know, maybe unless that has some meaning or something.
Okay, so that's what His Dark Materials is the Golden Compass.
Yes. And we've now, like, where we are in the series, we've now got like the polar bear, right? If you've read the books, you know the polar bear and you know all the characters. And my son read the book, so he's watching it with us, and he's even become like a movie snob. Like he totally knows his directors and foreign films and Russian movies and you name it. And he like won't watch things if he thinks it's beneath him. And he's watching it with us because he read the books as a kid.
Wow,
it's cool.
Funny.
What's the age appropriateness on that? I don't remember.
It's very age appropriate. Yeah, there's nothing, other than. It's Beckham is probably really close. I mean, maybe just for the violence, but even then, the violence isn't that bad. It's not like gory or anything. It's very family appropriate.
Yeah, he's seen all the Jurassic Park and all the Star Wars movies.
I think he could watch it then if he's seen Jurassic Park and he was okay with that.
Well,
the beginning of Jurassic Park terrified my kids.
Yeah,
yeah.
He has
terrified me.
He's behind the blanket. So
yeah, no, he could watch His Dark Materials. In fact, that would be fun for you guys to watch together.
Yeah, that would be. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's a cool series and it's very epic and fantasy, but it's also got ties into our world. So, and even their world, like they have guns and stuff, but it's also fantasy. So it's a weird mix, almost kind of steampunky a little bit.
Yeah, I think steampunk is.
And everybody has a familiar, like everybody has an animal that's like part of their soul, and they're always talking to this animal, and the animal talks with other people, like it's part of your personality. So modern CGI, can pull that off, whereas 20 years ago, making this kind of thing would have been difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's got different animals, and the bad people have like insects or snakes, right, as they're familiar, versus the good people have the fluffy fox, or the cute dog, or whatever. And like, well, that's a bad guy. He's got a bee. He's got an insect crawling on his face, so he's a bad guy, right?
Freaking badass polar bear.
Oh yeah, the polar bear is cool. And he's not a familiar. He's an actual polar bear who's like ready to kick ass with armor. He's got armor.
With armor, yeah.
What about the rest of you guys? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't the movie. No. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm watching. Expanse and His Dark Materials. And Schitt's Creek when we need a 30-minute comedy show.
I watched a couple episodes of that. It's pretty funny.
It takes a little while to get rolling. Yeah, it's great though.
Bonnie, anything you were able to catch this week?
I watched, I was just trying to think of things that I hadn't mentioned to you guys before, but last week I actually did watch one thing. It's called My Octopus Teacher. It's a documentary. It's about a guy who finds an octopus. This is legit. He finds an octopus in this pool of water near his home, and he decides to go and see this octopus every day. He goes snorkeling every day and he documents the life of this octopus. And it will blow you away. What the octopus ends up, because octopuses only live for a year. So he documents every single day of this octopus's life.
Oh, wow.
Over the course of a year, everything that happens to it, everything, it's crazy. I was in tears at the end.
My Octopus Teacher, man, I might have to watch that.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
And then I also watched Succession 3-4 months ago. I never really mentioned it to you guys, and that was really fun. That's like a dynasty, a media dynasty empire. There are 2 seasons, I think, at this point, and it's a great show. It's hard to explain exactly, but it's just like it's a media empire, kind of like the Murdochs, like Rupert Murdoch and his sons, and they're all fighting over like who gets to take over in the end.
Oh yeah.
And all the kids are like, Kieran Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother, is in it. He's really funny. And he's really good. Yep. Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, and it's won a lot of awards. It's
he won an Emmy. The lead character won an Emmy for his performance last year. So
like the son who was wanted to run everything. Okay, yeah,
he won.
Yeah, we watched some of that. We did. I haven't watched it all, but we watched a good amount. Yeah.
When you get a chance, throw the name of those two things in the Telegram chat so I don't forget.
Okay.
I'm going to watch one of those this week. That's really cool. Manel, anything that you were able to watch this week?
Not this last week, but we did finish up Longmire, and I liked Longmire. I liked the way it wrapped up, too.
Yeah.
And we started watching Yellowstone.
Okay.
And with Kevin Costner, and I'm not sure how we're going to make it very long. It's like they're all bad people, so it's like Breaking Bad, type of thing. They're all bad, so you end up having to pick the lesser of the evils and you're cheering them on, but they're all doing bad stuff. So
Succession is like that too.
Yeah, I don't know how long
I was just going to say that. That's why we wandered away from Succession, that there's nobody you really like.
No, you hate them all equally.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, Longmire, well, I know we talked about it on the first podcast, but Longmire really is good. I enjoyed that. I might go back and watch it again because I forgot so much about it.
Yeah, we finished it, and I was first told that it just ended. But no, they wrapped it up. They actually wrapped up the whole series. Yep. The last episode was really well done, so I was happy with that.
Cool.
Yep. All right, cool. We are going to move on to the What You're Waiting For segment.
I didn't rent that movie.
Wrong. Let's try this one.
You've got buttons now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the best day ever.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't tie my buttons to audio.
Oh.
Because I can't. I could, but you guys wouldn't hear it. Kind of like what's happening now because nobody's in Roll20.
Wait for it.
I am never. I did it again this week. That's probably time number 86. I tried to set up Voice Meter Banana the right way, and I was just pulling my hair out. But anyway, so it's kind of I guess during this segment, what I wanted to get into a little bit was what you guys think about the future of gaming for the most part, as far as how you're going to game, because I know we're mostly PC guys. And I haven't owned a console myself in a long time. I mean, there's been one around the house, but I've never been able to get close to it. Yeah. So, like my console gaming has been reserved to maybe a Christmas break when the Xbox One came out and I can finally get near the 360. Yeah. So I'd set the 360 up and play a few of the games that I never got to play while the 360 was out. And I do enjoy console gaming. Especially games that I think fit the controller scheme really well.
Yeah.
But it's just like I've had so much money invested in the PC over these years, to go out and buy a game for one platform and then, most of them you can get for another platform. But because of this whole subscription service thing, I'm starting to reconsider that a little bit. Like it might be nice to have a console. And it's going to depend, which way you go, whether it's, I'd be leaning Xbox at this point. But to get that handful of things that you can't get, because every year a handful of blockbusters come out on, one of the platforms that you can't get on PC. And you kind of miss them, so I don't know if you, and then the other thing is now because of this whole subscription thing. Well, put it this way: if you buy an Xbox X, right, the new one that's coming out, you log in with your account, and basically anything you've ever purchased on that account is available and playable on that platform. So original Xbox games, Xbox 360 games, right? Xbox One games, everything you've ever purchased, you've automatically, if you've owned one of those platforms all this time. And then if you've got the subscription, you can pull in all these games for a monthly fee. So I don't know. I'm considering, maybe mounting a flat screen to the wall behind me and, picking up one of the platforms.
Which
I had
one,
been
though?
kind of debating the same thing. Yeah. So basically the question becomes, Xbox One X versus PS5, right? And
right.
The Switch is an also own anyway. Like it's its own separate category, which is brilliant by Nintendo anyway. They're not even competing with those two.
Right.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opinion that the Xbox One X is sort of redundant, right? Like Microsoft isn't going to put anything out for the console and not the PC or vice versa.
I'm not hearing that right now.
Published.
I'm hearing there may be some exclusive titles that are just for the Xbox One X platform.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what titles that would be. I think when Microsoft, it's PC and Xbox together, because you develop for one, you've got both. Like if you're the development house,
right?
Unless they throw a lot of money at you to say we want this exclusively here and not there, the development house wants it in both places, right? There's more money,
right?
And I think consoles were more exclusive when the engines were different than the PC, but now the engines are the same as the PC. It's the same engine.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So even PlayStation games are coming to Steam now, right? And it's very few, but they are.
Right.
Like Final Fantasy VII Remake is on the PC,
right?
Or maybe not. I don't know. But I can't think of the big PlayStation game right now. Though there's one that's on the PC that won a bunch of awards again, right?
God of War.
God of War.
God of War finally came to PC, and so did what was the one with
the dinosaur
chick?
Hunting? Yeah, dinosaur hunting kind of thing.
Yeah.
With the woman protagonist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my kind of opinion is, if I got an Xbox One X, would I have access to anything new that I don't already have access to on the new gaming PC I bought this fall?
Yeah.
So for me, I think the PS5 would be more complementary, right? Because PlayStation has more exclusives, and there's a lot of stuff on there that I haven't played. I didn't have a PS4, so there are a ton of titles on the PlayStation.
Well, see, my gut reaction would be, I wouldn't say my gut reaction, but what would pull me toward a PS4 is I want to play Miles Morales.
Or PS5.
PS5, yeah. So if you don't own a PS5, you're not playing that game probably.
Yeah. Now the PS5, you're also going to have the pleasure of paying $60 a pop or $70 a pop,
right? Because there's no
the price. So that's an expensive endeavor. If you can afford it and you're a gamer, by all means do it. So for that reason, I'm kind of leaning towards PS5. I'm really of the opinion that I'll play on the PC anything that I would play on the Xbox.
Unless but from everything that you're saying, it sounds like I don't know. It just sounds like a weird strategy. Like Sony's got
Microsoft is doing. Oh yeah, no, Sony. They're just different strategies right now, and time will tell which is right. All right.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Like just from what you're saying, like there's no way I'm buying any kind of Sony stuff. Like I just can't justify it.
I mean, for the PS4 generation, that worked for them, right? Selling everything at $60 a pop. They're AAA fantastic titles, right? You could probably name 10 games that are PS5 exclusives that are considered some of the top games ever released.
Horizon Zero Dawn was that game I was trying to think of.
That's the one which I've
heard
Steam,
is phenomenal. It's number 3 on this top 30 list that I'm looking at.
Wow.
And so, worldwide, Sony PS4 crushed the Xbox One. I mean, it worked for them in the last gen. Now, will it work this gen? Microsoft has a new strategy and a new console and streaming, and it's a new world, right?
Yeah.
We're no longer buying $60 games on Blu-ray, or whatever.
Right.
Or on disc. So it's a new round, and so we'll see what happens. But
I guess
you want to play a lot of those games. If you're already a fan of PlayStation, you got that's your choice. That's what you got to do.
What about the VR aspect?
Sony's VR is good. I've heard it's good, not great. Now they could come now with the PS5 if they come out with a new headset that just crushed it and worked in your living room. Just move a couple chairs out of the way, and you got VR and you got great titles. I'm there, right?
Yeah.
They could nail it. Nobody has really.
I don't see a day where VR completely replaces. I mean, maybe way down the road. Completely replaces the just screen controller or whatever, keyboard and mouse experience. But to me, the advantage of buying a platform, okay, I got an Xbox, you got an Xbox. If you buy such and such a game and I buy such and such a game, we're both going to be able to experience it as intended. You know what I mean?
It's also the network effect. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, my video card sucks and I can't, it doesn't look as good on my computer as it does on yours.
Right.
You can buy that game, it's going to run. Okay. Well, now Cyberpunk kind of broke that a little bit.
Yeah. That's always been the strength of consoles though, right? You buy it once and you got 8 years of titles and you don't have to worry about, is my graphics card good enough?
Right.
There's a benefit to that for sure.
But there's something to be said about I got a console, I got a nice TV, and I'm good. And so I just kick back with my controller, and any game I buy, I know is going to be good on my console. So I don't know. I might think about it sometime in the spring and see and weigh the cost to experience ratio and see if if my PC is still something that completely scratches every itch, then I'll stay there.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
Natto's like gotta keep that gadget flow happening.
Yeah. But I do like the Switch. I can't believe it took me so long to get a Switch Lite. So, all right. So
4 Switches.
Jesus Christ.
You bought 4 of them.
We should like put like for the viewers or anybody watching, we should put like out there who spends the most on.
Wait a minute.
Like, okay.
One for you, one for Heidi, one for each of the kids.
Let's see. I bought one. Then I bought a second one because I gave it to Benjamin. Then I lost one while I was traveling at a hotel.
Bummer, dude.
And for 3 months, I was trying to call the hotel to get it back. I finally gave up and bought myself a third one. Then I got a hold of the hotel, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've had it here the whole time. We'll send it to you." So then they sent it back. So that was the fourth one. So that's now my daughter's. So my son, my daughter, and I.
Wow.
Wait, maybe that's just 3.
You bought 3.
I've only bought 3 Switches, luckily.
Okay.
But it was nice to get the other one back.
Oh, yeah. But they're all normal Switches? You got all regular Switches?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I never bought the Lite. Yeah. That would probably be fine for the kids. I actually like hooking it up in the living room to the TV.
Yeah.
With like the Nintendo. For me, that's my living room console. The Switch is my living room console. With the Nintendo controller.
Right.
Like Breath of the Wild on the big screen TV, just the sense of exploration and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it is a perfect travel gaming console. Like us as 11-year-old kids playing Atari or whatever back in the day, like we would have lost it over the Switch.
Oh, sure.
Right? This is the perfect gaming, console that
we would have lost it over a Sega Game Gear.
Yeah.
It is great. So we take it anytime we travel, like camper, to the cabin, different places. The Switch is perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
What you doing?
All right, so just give a little recap on what everybody is doing, kind of what we all have going on, and what we might want to be doing this upcoming week. Just I'd be curious to know, I know we talked a little bit about it, but do you have a plan to watch a certain thing this week, play a certain game this week, that kind of stuff? Anybody can start. Let me get the music back.
I guess more Shadow of War. I want to get back into Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nato's got to go
And
check on
Wildlands, if you guys will play.
He's got to check on his house.
Yeah.
See if there's a new bunny inside.
Oh, I bought the swimsuit today so I can go and swim and go underwater. So I gotta go collect some underwater.
I wouldn't mind getting some Wildlands time in.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that. I mean, Kitus and I had a great time the other night. And
What settings are you using?
We're just using the regular settings for right now.
Okay.
Maybe we get a little acclimated.
I think Nata was on hard settings. You died a lot easier than I did.
Well, so in that game, when you level up to level 30, it lets you opt into this tier mode. And it starts you off at level 45, and then you level backwards all the way to 0. And as you level backwards, it gets easier to get killed and easier to get spotted and that kind of stuff. No, you can turn it off anytime and save that progress and then come back to it. But there's some rewards you get at each mile marker. So yeah, I die a little easier, but it doesn't. None of that has anything to do with the interface. Like my interface is still on, all that kind of stuff. So,
that's cool.
But you've already leveled all the way up to the end, then.
Well, it's like one of those games where the max character level is level 30. So yeah, my character's level 30. But you can get to level 30 without actually finishing the story. It depends on how much side stuff you want to do. And then how much is left. Because you can finish that whole tree of villains and everything. Or you can get to El Sueño without finishing the whole tree.
Right.
You can can take down the main bad guy and still have a dozen or so of the other people left.
Oh wow.
Gotcha.
Have you beaten El Sueño?
We did.
We went
we got that sucker.
Well, you have to do it with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a cool ending. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a cool ending. But there's two endings, I guess, to the game. There's the takedown El Sueño ending, and then there's when you completely eliminate the cartel ending. So you can kind of play toward both of those goals,
All right, we got to set up a time then. We got to figure out when. Poor Manel.
Yeah.
Not much here. I mean, I struggle. I mean, you saw me disappear. I had to go turn my inverter on. My battery is almost dead on my laptop.
It sucks to be retired.
It sucks to be retired and not have to go to work.
Bummer,
well, tomorrow I get to tear my generator apart. If that's any consolation, it's not running very well.
Find a welder too.
I got to find a welder for this stupid table. Look at that. Ugh, I got to get so life in an RV. So lots of drinking and lots of eating though, guys. People are showing up. So we got about 8 alphas out here, or 8 RVs of the same make model. So there's happy hours. There's people milling around. Hey, what you working on? And everyone's helping. I tore my furnace out the other day because it wasn't working right. Had 3 people standing over my shoulder. What you doing? You need my tools? I got tools.
This is called
I have an arc welder.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to borrow my arc welder?
I don't know what the fuck to do, but that guy's doing stuff over there, so I'm gonna go over
that's
there.
what it is. What are you doing? Oh, I'm redoing the battery cables. Can I watch?
What
was the cartoon?
Hang on, let me go get my wife and some popcorn.
They're on the side of the street.
A couple of lawn chairs.
Wait, what was it?
Yeah.
That series.
The cartoon with the guys that were always standing around with the beers.
Yeah.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, yeah.
That's good.
King of the Hill.
I don't know about that. No, dang old internet, man. What click, dang old internet, man.
Yeah. That's it. I'm just vaccinating the masses down here, man. So life's kind of sucking. So No.
Are you deciding who's worthy and who is not, kind of thing?
No.
That's not his job.
Luckily, Scott's wife did that.
Okay.
No. But no, it's all preset from the state. We just kind of got to enforce it. And I'm we're a huge medical system. So, I mean, we've got 30,000 employees. We're all over the state. So we have, the most capability when it comes to doing this stuff, just because of the population that we have and that we serve. So it's a big deal.
In Florida, we have a lottery.
Do you?
Yeah, you buy like
a
cash one ticket and a vaccine ticket, and if you scratch it,
there's a bunch of little. You get
cool, I can get vaccinated.
You get 3 needles. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's using Florida as how not to do it. So
Florida man.
Yeah, Florida's got lines around the corner like the 1970s gas shortage, man. It's just ridiculous down there. So
in some places,
everybody's like, yeah, we don't want to make the mistake Florida made. So like every time you talk about doing something, somebody pipes in, well, what's the queue line going to look like? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I got my shot.
Just keep putting all those microchips in there, and we're going to be good.
Almond, is he over
Bill
here?
Gates is on your direct dial, putting in the chips.
Yeah. He's got like a RFID thing and floating in his blood now.
Yeah. That
5G.
and HIV.
You got that too?
And I'm sterile now that I've got the shot.
Yeah, but you're already done anyway. So like
benefit.
And you don't have to worry about being raptured. So that's good.
So, no. It's the work is like solid. It's good. I haven't worked this hard in a long time, but I haven't worked for something this worthwhile in a long time either. So it's
that is true. That is true, man. It's super important.
Yeah, it's both rewarding and exhausting at the same time.
Right.
Sounds like marriage.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like marriage. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try to hook up and set a time for Wildlands.
Yeah, definitely next week I'll be good. Kate's gonna be gone. Beckham.
I'm good pretty much any evening. So maybe just the 3 of us can hop in there sometime too.
Yeah.
Kitus and Bondi.
Yeah. I'll play. Just ping me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me know if you guys do run a game. Let me know.
Tomorrow night.
Cool.
Later's usually.
I'm in tomorrow night. Kitus said it. I'm there. We'll set a time later.
Saying later is better.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys.
Thanks, everyone.